Hi, I'm Miss Mary, Storytime Programmer at the Faulkner County Library in Conway, Arkansas, and today we're reading chapters 29 and 30 of Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's Library by Chris Grabenstein and published by Random House. And where we left off in chapter 28, that's right. Oh, Kyle's team had won the Let's Do a Deal challenge, and that was very exciting. So they get to see all the discarded library cards with the different books on them. And then Charles had kind of asked Andrew to leave the room, and he's making kind of a secret deal with Haley Daly about the clue. And the clue that Haley had found was the silhouette of the Hoosier State, which is Indiana. So let's start chapter 29. "Oh, man," said Kyle, leading his team around the balcony back to the young adult room. 9 library cards. This is fantastic." They gathered around a table. "Okay, guys, time for everybody to put their cards on the table." Literally. The teammates set down their cards. Kyle spread out the 5 from the discard bowl. Akimi pulled out a pad and wrote all the information on one master list. Books, authors on the backs of library cards. Number 1, Miguel Fernandez. Incident at Hawks Hill by Alan W. Eckert. And No David by David Shannon. Oh, that's one of my favorites. Number 2, Akimi Hughes. One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish by Dr. Seuss. And 9 Stories by J.D. Salinger. Number 3, Unknown. Number 4, Bridget Wadge. Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing by Judy Blume. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling. Number 5, Sierra Russell. The Egypt Game by Zilpha Keatley Snyder and The Westing Game by Ellen Raskin. Number 6, Yasmin Smith Snyder. Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne and The Yak Who Yelled Yuck by Carol Pugliano Martin. Number 7, Sean Keegan. Olivia by Ian Falconer, like that one too. And Unreal by Paul Jennings. Number 8, Unknown. Number 9, Rose Vermette. All of a Kind Family by Sidney Taylor. And Scat by Carl Hassan. Number 10, Kayla Corson. Anna to the Infinite Power by Mildred Ames. And Where the Sidewalk Ends by Shel Silverstein. Oh, I love that one too. Number 11, Unknown. Number 12, Kyle Keeley. I Love You, Stinky Face by Lisa McCourt. And The Napping House by Audrey Wood. I love that one too. Wow, said Sierra. That's a lot of good books. But what do all those authors and titles mean? It means we need Charles's, Andrew's, and Haley's cards, said Kyle. Really, said Akimi. Because if you ask me, we already have way too much information. Well, said Kyle, maybe later we'll find a clue that'll tell us how to read this clue. And how are we going to do that? Asked Miguel. Have you ever played this? Kyle pointed to the Bibliomania box. Nope, always wanted to. We were just about to get up a game. Does this have anything to do with finding our way out of the library? We sure hope so, said Akimi. Awesome. By the way, Kyle said to Miguel, what'd you find in the Art and Artifacts room? Yeah, said Akimi, all those papers you kept trying to hide from us. Miguel grinned. The original blueprints for the Gold Leaf Bank building. Clever, said Kyle. That way you could look for old exits that might exist behind new walls. Exactly. Find any extra exits? Asked Akimi. Nope, no hidden windows either. Yeah, what's up with that? How come they built this place with so few windows? To discourage bank robbers, I guess, said Akimi. Yep, said Miguel. The only way in was through the front door. The fire exits could only be opened from the inside, like at a movie theater. The vault itself was all the way down in the basement. Mr. Lemoncello kept all that security, said Kyle, and added his own. So it would seem. Well, hopefully Bibliomania will lead us to some kind of alternate exit. And fast, said Akimi. Don't forget, We're not the only ones playing this game. One of those other guys is probably halfway out the door already. Okay, said Kyle. Gameplay is pretty simple. You spin the spinner and advance your piece the number of spaces the needle points to. You move around the library and go into each of the 10 Dewey Decimal Rooms where you can pick up a book by answering a clue card. If you guess wrong, you get a new clue card in the same room on your next turn. The first person to fill the 10 slots in their bookshelf and spin their way out of the library wins. It's sort of like Trivial Pursuit, said Sierra, and the questions aren't all that hard because they're mostly multiple choice. Let's hear one, said Miguel eagerly. The cards were separated into 10 multicolored mini stacks, one for each room. Kyle grabbed a green card. Okay, this is for 800 rooms. Literature. Deathly ill and pursued by the ring wraiths, Frodo Baggins was carried safely across the river Bruinen on the gleaming white elf horse of Glorfindel, named A. Asphodel, B. Asphalloth, C. Almerian, or D. Anglacal. Akimi shook her head like she was having a brain freeze. What? I think the answer might be A, said Miguel. They're all A's, said Kyle. Asphodel, Asphalloth, It's B. Asphalloth, said Sierra. It's from J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings. Kyle flipped the card over and read the answer. You are correct. You get a copy of Lord of the Rings to put in your bookshelf. So, Kyle, said Akimi, how exactly is knowing the name of an elf horse going to help us get out of the library? Maybe it's like a secret code, suggested Miguel, and the 10 book titles will form a sentence telling us how to get out. Possibly, said Kyle, but I see a problem. What's that? It's too random. Mr. Lemoncello would have no idea which 10 cards we would pick. Well, said Sierra, maybe there are only 10 questions, one for each room. Akimi grabbed the card stacks, fanned them out. Nope, they're all different. Hang on, said Kyle. He was remembering something about another game, Mr. Lemoncello's indoor-outdoor scavenger hunt. How his mother had been able to write the company and request a fresh set of cards. He turned to the video camera mounted in a corner. I'd like my librarian consultation, please. What's up, Kyle? Asked Miguel. I'm playing a hunch. The holographic Mrs. Tobin appeared behind the young adult librarian's desk. How may I help you, Kyle? My friends and I went to play Bibliomania, but we were wondering, is there a new set of cards? Yes, Kyle, there is. And a fresh deck of cards popped up through a slot in the desk. Oh, that's exciting. That was the end of chapter 29, so we're going to keep going to chapter 30. We'll just play one bookshelf, said Kyle. Because we're a team now, right, bro? Right. Plus, we don't have all day. Well, said Akimi, technically we do. In fact, we have the rest of today and tomorrow till noon. We've got like 19 hours left, said Miguel. But Charles and the others, said Sierra, they could beat us. Right, said Kyle. After all, he is a Tiltington, and according to Sir Charles, they never lose. Miguel, you're the newest member of the team. You spin first. Miguel rubbed his hands together, limbered up his fingers, practiced flicking his index finger off of his thumb, made sure he had a good snap follow-through. Would you hurry up and spin before my brain explodes, pleaded Akimi. No problem. Miguel flicked the plastic pointer. It whirled around the cardboard square decorated with the sunburst of 10 colorful triangles. Booyah! The triple zeros, general knowledge. That's not so great, said Kyle. How come? You get to move 0 spaces. Oh, bummer. Akimi shot up her hand. Yes, said Kyle. Do we really have to spin and count spaces and all that junk? We have a deadline. Clocks everywhere are ticking against us. Maybe we can just pull a pink card, suggested Sierra. It's not really how you play the game, said Kyle. We're not really playing this game, Kyle, said Akimi. We're playing the other one. The big game, the one with the ginormous prize. I have to agree with Akimi, said Miguel. Fine, said Kyle. It's against the rules, but pull a pink card. You sure, bro? Just pull a pink. Miguel quickly sorted the new deck into 10 stacks of different colors. He pulled the pink on top of its pile. These are different from the regular cards. He turned it over and showed it to the group. 0 plus 27 plus 0.4 equals... Easy peasy, said Akimi. The answer is 27.4 because the 0 doesn't change the sum. Not in math, said Miguel. But this isn't math. This is the Dewey Decimal System, and there's always 3 numbers to the left of the decimal point. We need to find a book with the call number 027.4, added Sierra. Fine, said Akimi, but I guarantee you it isn't a math book. The team made their way around the balcony, circling the Dewey Decimal doors. Here we go, said Miguel. He slid his library card into a reader on a door labeled 000. Okay, said Miguel. In here, we're going to find general knowledge. Almanacs, encyclopedias, bibliographies, books about library science. It's a science? Asked Akimi. Where do they keep the chemicals? In the library paste, joked Sierra, who was listening up. She hadn't read one page of a book in hours. Found it, said Miguel, reaching up to pull a book off a shelf. 027.4. Ooh, man, it's old. Look how yellow the pages are. So what's the antique's title? Asked Akimi. Get to Know Your Local Library by Amy Alessio and Aaron Downey. Miguel held the book so everybody could see the cover. It was illustrated with a cartoony-looking detective in a checkered hat who was holding up a magnifying glass to examine books on a shelf. Looks like a library guide for kids, said Miguel, opening the cover to read one of the inside pages. First publication was way back in 1952. He flipped through a few pages. It explains the Dewey Decimal System, contains a glossary of library items, a brief history of libraries. He reached the back of the book. Awesome! What? Asked Kyle as he and the others moved closer to see what Miguel had found. It's an old-fashioned book slip from the Alexandriaville Public Library. The one they tore down? Yep, and this card, tucked into a sleeve glued to the back cover, comes from the olden days when they used to stamp the date the book was due on a grid and you had to fill in your name under issued to. And look who checked this book out on the 26th of May, 1964. Kyle and the others looked. Luigi Lemoncello! Down on the first floor, Charles used his library card to open the door to Community Meeting Room A. Who is to have access to this room? Cooed a soothing voice from the ceiling. Me and my teammates, said Charles, Andrew Peckelman and Haley Daly. Thank you. Please have Andrew Peckelman and Haley Daly swipe their cards through the reader now. Both of them did. Thank you. Entrance to Community Meeting Room A will be limited to those approved by the host, Charles Chiltington. Have a good meeting. Charles and his team entered the sleek, ultra-modern, white-on-white conference room. There were 12 comfy chairs set up around a glass-top table and a cabinet filled with top-of-the-line audio-visual equipment. You can write on the walls, said Andrew. They're like the smart boards at school. Excellent, said Charles, clasping his hands behind his back and pacing around the room. Now, when we find all 12 pictograms and lay them out according to their position in the staff picks display case, they will create a rebus for a phrase that I am quite certain will tell us exactly how to exit this library without triggering any alarms. Therefore, it is time for all of us to lay our cards on the table. Haley nodded and pulled 2 more silhouettes out of the back pocket of her jeans. I found one of these in a cookbook, she said. The other was in juvenile fiction. Nancy Drew, The Mystery at Lilac Inn. There are blank note cards in this drawer, announced Andrew. We should use them as placeholders for the books we still need to find. They laid out a 3x4 grid of cards on the tabletop. And again, I apologize. I will have pictures of these posted this rebus because I know it's going to be flipped when I show it to you. Sheep, blank, walking, pedestrians walking sign. That one, so like a farmer, need, house, Indiana, Unitas, and need. What does it mean? Said Andrew. Simple, said Charles. It means we need to find those other 6 books. Whew, and that is the end of chapter 30. Man, things are really heating up in this contest. Woo-hoo. Puzzles everywhere. All right, that's it. We will not be posting any on Saturday and Sunday, but come back on Monday and we'll have 2 more chapters. Thanks.